In the Somali capital, Mogadishu, a group of journalists has gathered to protest against what they say is an attack on freedom of speech by their government.
Today we are standing here to protest about the arrest of our colleagues. As Somali journalists, we demand justice for all reporters behind bars. The constitution is quite clear that no one can be detained for more than 48 hours without being put on trial.
According to Human Rights Watch, Somali authorities have detained 3 journalists and prohibited a local radio station from broadcasting in a local dialect in the past 2 months. One of the detained journalists is Mohammed Adow, editor of Hiksi Radio. He was arrested on March 7th after reporting on police brutality in the capital. His family says they've been denied access to their son.
It's very worrying that they've labelled my son a terrorist for only practicing his profession. I appeal to our national leaders for the release of my son. He was our only breadwinner and we haven't seen him for a whole 2 months. I want justice for my son.
Journalist unions in the country often protest about the outdated penal code, which came into force in 1964. It includes a number of vague and overly broad crimes, including criminal defamation, offending the honor and prestige of the head of state, insulting a public officer or institution, all charges frequently laid against journalists.
What we are seeing these days or these weeks or months is an organized campaign to criminalize journalism by putting journalists in court because of their media rights or because of the right to freedom of expression, and especially the use of criminal laws which are old, outdated and draconian, such as the Penal Code of Somalia, which was enacted in 1964.
According to the Committee to Protect Journalists, Somalia is one of the most dangerous countries in the world for journalists. They often face threats and attacks from government officials, private individuals, and the armed group Al-Shabaab. The right group says impunity for the killing of journalists remain the norm, with at least 69 journalists killed since 1991, when Somalia's civil war began. Mohammed Adow, Al Jazeera.
Let's take this on. We can speak to Leticia Bader, who's a senior researcher at Human Rights Watch, the Africa division, and she joins us on Skype from Rome. Leticia, tell us first of all how serious the problem has become in Somalia since the pandemic began. Leticia Bader, can you hear me?